chill. It's gonna be hot. Okay. So, I wanted to do this video about journal magic. And if you've never heard of journal magic, I'm sure I'm not the only one that refers to it as journal magic, but essentially journal magic is using a journal or notebook, either one that you purchased or one that you made, and using that to bring your dreams and goals to life. And I've been doing this since I was very young, and I'm sure all of us have been doing this. And it's not out of the ordinary practice. It's something that we can do every single day, and the more we practice it, the more our dreams come true. So I wanted to share this journal that I made, and this is one of a couple of journals I've made, but I actually made this out of a cereal box and grocery store bags. So the front cover is literally a cereal box that I found in the streets of Haight and Ashbury in San Francisco. And there was literally like 2 boxes of just like plain old, like not even Honey Nut Cheerios, but literally just plain Cheerios. And I was like, I actually used one box for a treat that I posted like a long time ago, and then the other one, I just kind of like used the cardboard to have a structured body to my journal. And I've always taken elements of things that I find to make them into something else. So I always knew that I love making journals and I love creating paper crafts. So I decided, let's experiment. And then literally it's founded by the strings of a grocery store bag. But I decorated it with buttons and shells, and I drew on it, of course. This is the back. I painted it with acrylic paint and used some marker. But I wanted to essentially talk about why journal magic is such an important part of my life and how it has brought me to where I am today. And I wouldn't necessarily say that like all of my dreams have come true, but I would say a good portion of them have come true just because of writing down what I want and what I deeply desire, and being really honest about what I need and want in life, in my life, and harnessing my energy to make those things happen. And we can always write down the tools that we need, the people who are going to help us along the way to achieve the things that we want to achieve. None of the things that I've accomplished in life were done 100% by myself. I've always had my ancestors protecting me. I have friends and family who have supported me. But that isn't to say that I've always received that support all the time. There's been a lot of times in my life where it really was just me, and knowing during those times of when I really just have myself, that's when I have built the most resilience, and my intelligence grew and my confidence grew. And so those moments where I was left with myself and writing and dreaming about what I really want, like it just kind of inevitably led me to my dreams coming true. And I think what's really special about my journal, at least, is like I really took some time to like craft it, and I like kind of decorated it kind of like a scrapbook, but some of the things in here aren't always like manifestations. Some of these are just literally like poetry or like drawings. Some of the things are really like, well, here is actually a page of some goals. So these were a lot of like my bills that I had to pay off. So actually everything on this, almost everything on this list actually was fulfilled, minus some fast track tolls. If you're from the Bay, you know what I'm talking about. Some things with my car, but also using your journal as a means to complete your financial goals. Something I wrote in here on this page was, cannot explain the unexplainable. I create the image of myself. That is a godly ability. Together we experience unexplainable. Together we experience unexplainable moments. So yeah. Not every journal for me is the same. Obviously, like some of the pages in here are not even just dreams. They're literally just journal entries, confessions. Obviously, I'm not gonna read all that. That's for me. But I do this to get really clear about what it is that I need and how I'm going to obtain it, and writing down the steps it will take to obtain those things. And I try not to, like, once I write something down, I try not to go back to it too much, because once it's already written, it's already like on its way. It's already being built towards completion. And I feel like the more I try to, like, say I come up with a plan of how I'm gonna make like $500, and I'm like obsessively looking at my plan, like the goal is going to take a lot longer than I want. And what I've learned in my life is that things, even though I do write out a plan for things, sometimes they don't always go as I write down specifically. So what I'm learning now is writing the dreams that I have and making sure that in my everyday life I'm actually acting towards those goals. And I'm still looking at my plan overall in my day-to-day, but I'm not like obsessively like looking at it and waiting for shit to appear like through my journal. Like it doesn't, that's not how it happens. It happens through my actions, and it also happens through the beliefs I have about myself, how I treat other people, and how I allow myself to receive what I want. Because I've learned that in getting what I most desire, I have to be ready to receive those things. And if I'm not ready and I don't feel safe enough to receive those things, then once I have it, it's not going to feel complete. It's not going to feel like it was for me, when, you know, the universe spent so much time, my ancestors spent so much time, God spent so much time trying to create this present for me, and I'm not ready to receive it. Like, you know what I mean? And so journal magic is really, I feel like, a lot different than regular journaling about your everyday life. That's something that I used to do every day. I would write down what happened in my day. I used to also write down good things happened to me in every day. And that's also, I feel like, a form of journal magic, because once we keep identifying the good things that happen in our life, it just becomes like a regular muscle for us to expect good things to happen to us every single day. And I believe that once we keep finding those things, like, more is just gonna come to us. And that's why I love writing. I've never not written. I feel like I've never not had a journal on hand. Like, I honestly feel so incomplete without a journal, without a medium to write on. And I've always known the importance of my words, especially when I speak to myself. And that is always reflected in how I speak to others, because once the relationship to myself becomes negative, then that automatically reflects into how I treat other people. And so I feel like journal magic is also another way to keep ourselves grounded in our values, and also keep us grounded in maintaining our spiritual wellness, our physical wellness, our emotional wellness, and also remaining ourselves. Like, the times that I've sought out my journals are times when I wasn't feeling like myself, or I needed to reflect on why certain relationships were making me turn into a person that I didn't like, or why my money was not flowing to me as easily as it had in previous phases of my life, or why my art isn't just expressing the messages that I wanted to express. So journal magic embodies everything. It encompasses all creative aspects of our life. And there's just something about putting it on paper. Lest we not forget paper, and like just putting pen to paper. Putting pen to paper. And it's spell work. It's literally spell work. Like, when you think about songwriting, like, lyrics are not just sentences that sound good. Songs are literal spells, and when we incorporate our unique and individual energy into those spells, we're literally creating our own kind of magic. And that's kind of the same thing with journals. Like, get some paper that you like, whether it's a fucking grocery bag, or some, like, I know people like to make their own paper, using like old newspaper and doing the whole, like, recycled paper type process, or using you could, maybe if you find like some big ass leaves, turn that into a journal. Use elements in nature to make you a journal. Like, literally use anything at your disposal to make a journal, and use that as a means to document your life. I have been writing about my life since like the day I could fucking pick up a pencil. And I'm sure, like, the majority of us, like, these are things that we have already been doing, but there is something magical about it when you realize that there is so much power in the ordinary, and that there's so much power in doing an ordinary thing every fucking day, and watching what that leads to. And I really believe in this practice for myself, especially. I feel like I've made a lot of shit happen for myself. I made a lot of shit happen for other people. And for the longest time, I feel like I was trying to make shit happen for other people more than I was trying to make shit happen for me. And that's when I know that my energy, I'm not using my energy right. So this is a sacred practice for me to maintain my wellness and to maintain me. So I really, really love journaling. I love journal magic. I love creating spells through this type of medium. And I have journals for all different types of purposes. I have journals for tarot reading. I have a journal more so for like relational wisdom or poetry. But sometimes they all kind of like mix together. And it's really about, sometimes it's like more like, I feel like each page has its like own specific magic. Like I feel like each page has its own type of aura that just, it's different from the other pages. Like this one is just a page of, I was writing numbers in what I write, which is my father's language. So yeah, also using it as ancestral remembrance and really stressing the importance of documenting our lives and holding that as a treasure, because you know they be stealing our cultures, they be trying to lock that shit up in museums, and we need to have our shit for ourselves. Like we need to have documentation of us in our everyday lives, and we need to own that. We need to have our own property. So if you like this video, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.